Hi, how's it going? This is my second time recording this because the first time I recorded it without audio. But here we go. On April 15th, 1947, Jackie Robinson made his major league debut for the Brooklyn Dodgers of Major League Baseball at Ebbets Field. Robinson made history becoming the first African American baseball player to make his debut in the major leagues. Prior to Robinson's debut, African American players were only allowed to play in the Negro leagues. It was one of the main forms of segregation in the 1900s. Although the Negro leagues got far less exposure than the major leagues, some of baseball's greats came out of the Negro leagues. Two of these legends include Satchel Paige, obviously Jackie Robinson, and Josh Gibson. Once Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, slowly more and more African American players made their way into the big leagues. Jackie Robinson Day is currently celebrated on April 15th, where all Major League Baseball players wear number 42 across all 30 baseball teams. Robinson was born into a sharecropper family in Georgia in 1919 on January 31st. He was the youngest of five siblings. Jackie eventually landed himself on high school's varsity track, baseball, football, and baseball teams. And around this time, he started to take his interest in sports seriously, which was encouraged by his older brother. After high school, Robinson attended a junior college in California once he moved up there with his mother and played all the same four sports that he played in high school. After 2 years, his older brother Frank passed away, and Jackie started attending UCLA in honor of his brother. Um, During the spring semester of his senior year, Robinson left his college just a few months before graduation in order to provide money and get a job to support his mother and the rest of his family. In 1942, Robinson was drafted into the U.S. Army and he spent 2 years in the reserves for World War II. In 1945, Robinson signed with the Kansas City Monarchs, which was a Negro League team at the time. He played in Kansas City for 1 year, where he had an outstanding season. Branch Rickey, the general manager for the Brooklyn Dodgers at the time, was surveying the Negro Leagues at the time for talent, seeking to integrate African American players into the major leagues. He was looking for someone that had not only the skill, but the attitude to resist the pressure of integration into Major League Baseball. Needless to say, once Robinson made his debut, he received an enormous amount of pushback from fans and critics. Fans would throw racial slurs in his direction on a daily basis and do anything they possibly could to bring him down. He became the first African American baseball player to earn the Rookie of the Year honor as well as the MVP award. Current baseball player Robinson Cano was named after Jackie Robinson and attempts to honor his legacy every single day. Robinson influenced the direction of Major League Baseball by becoming obviously the first African American player in the major leagues. And slowly after he made his debut, more and more African Americans started making their debut. Clearly, Robinson had a much larger impact than his on-field performance with the Dodgers. Without his fortitude and example, the civil rights movement may not have been as successful as it was. African American communities around the world rallied around Robinson and began to take his mindset into their everyday lives. Not only did Jackie Robinson have an impact on the country that we live in today, but he also had a great impact on the baseball field. He was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in December of 1962.